It's 2026 and time for a new year craft room cleanup. And today I have a tutorial for craft room organization, and I am going to solve a very common problem for us everyday crafters. I am talking about embossing folder organization. So I'm going to share my complete system for embossing folder storage, and this is going to help you declutter and find your supplies faster. This cheap and easy method is going to use kind of like a swatch book catalog type method. So it is very affordable, and it's going to allow you to see the texture of each embossing folder, anywhere from like your Slimline to 3D embossing folders. But more importantly, you will be able to pinpoint the exact folder that you need quickly and more efficiently, so you don't have to dig through all of those storage bins in your craft room. So let's talk about the messy truth about embossing folders. We all have them, some more than others. And if you're anything like me, you kind of realize like who, what, where, when, why, and how in the world did I ever amass a collection of over 300 embossing folders? Like, I didn't know that I had that many until I started working on this project, and I was working on this project since last year. So I tell you what, I'm not complaining at all. I'm just like, you know what? You realize all of your effort that you put into chasing all of this stuff. So yes, I want to be able to use each and every one of these in a project, and that starts today. So why are embossing folders so hard to organize? Well, for me, when I started all of this, I was thinking about, you know what? Do I want to break these down into kind of like categories to put them in like geometric and textures? Like I can find all the embossing folders with the dots, the stripes, the bricks, the wood grain, put them in one category. And then I was like, maybe I'll do like floral and nature. I'll find all my leaves, vines, and flowers, seasonal like Christmas and Valentine's Day and fall, or even like embossing folders that would be super easy because it just had sentiments, anything that read like happy birthday or thank you. And then I did that, and then I started getting extremely confused because then I would run into something like a heart. So would I put heart under like shapes, like the shape of a heart, or do I put that under like Valentine's Day, seasonal? And at that point, I was like, you know what? I am just going to manage them by brand name. And I'll tell you why. There's a few reasons why I do this, because like memory alone, like every time I go to craft, I know that in my memory there's a specific embossing folder that I'm looking for, and I know the brand that it's attached to. So that's why I want to keep it that way. And then also in addition to that, I want to keep all the packaging on all of my embossing folders if I have the embossing folder packaging, because some of them are kind of like your generic brand, so I don't have the embossing packaging for that. But you know, if I have it, I want to keep it because, you know, what if I do a video tutorial later on where I'm doing some sort of card making and someone comments, I really love the embossing folder, which one did you use? And I'm just like drawing a blank. At least with this, I can go back and try to give as much specific information about the product as I possibly can, and then that will help the next crafter. And the third reason ties in with my favorite storage system for 2026, and that is wood drawers. So as you can tell, when you stick with the same brand, they usually have the same dimensions, the same size, and when you go to stack all these up, it's really nice and it looks tidy because they all align. So I'm happy to stick with the decision of just basing it upon like the actual brand. So now that we have our embossing folder collection, found all of them in the craft room, you're going to want to also pick up a few of the 4x6 inch photo albums. So this comes with a pack of 2. I found these at Hobby Lobby, and they come with 40 pages per album. So I used quite a few of these, so you definitely want to stock up on it depending on how big your embossing folder collection is. You want a labeler and a whole lot of extra labels because you are going to use a lot of them. So I prefer the white label with the black font on there. Cardstock, and for cardstock, I would recommend using cardstock that you don't normally craft with, like the ones that you kind of throw to the side because you don't know how to incorporate them into your crafting project. Use those because these are pretty much just going to be like swatches and samples. So I take that and I divide them into 4 equal pieces. So I cut it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. So you'll be able to get 4 samples or swatches out of one cardstock, and then your trimmer, your paper trimmer, scissors, whatever you use for your embossing folders, whether that be your Sizzix Big Shot or your Cuttlebug. I just found my Cuttlebug and remember that I used to use this all the time for my embossing folders. So I'm just going to keep this out, and I think this is going to be primarily my embossing folder machine from now on. And then you also need a container to put all the albums in, like this pink one right here. And so these are all the albums that I use. So this is easy to find. Usually any store kind of has something similar to this. And of course, your drawer system. So you want to actually figure out your drawer system. I have a total of 8. All the information that you see on the front of the drawers are all the same information you'll find on the front of these album covers. And as you can tell, some of the albums actually have more than one. So you'll see like A and then A part 2. And that's only because if I had a lot of embossing folders, I needed some extra room in those albums. So this is actually how I'm going to catalog my folders using the swatch method and using these letters. So I have a total of 8 drawers. Each of them have like a letter on it. So the first one, embossing folders, just indicates that everything in this size drawer is going to be my embossing folders. And then the letter A means that's dedicated to this drawer. So everything that is in this drawer is going to be labeled with a number plus the letter A. That's going to help me find it a lot faster. So mix kind of just means like some of the generic folders that I bought online and some actual name brand folders that I just had like 1 or 2 of. So it's basically exactly what it says, just a mix of embossing folders. Next drawer is B for Momenta, C for Crafter's Companion and Spellbinders, D for Joann's and Michael's, E for Sizzix, and it goes all the way up to H. So you definitely want to sort every single one of your embossing folders first and put them in the correct drawer. Then you want to take your first drawer, which is going to be A mix for me, and you're going to print out some labels. So it depends on how many embossing folders you have in this drawer. So say, for example, you have 60 embossing folders, you will print on your label machine 1A all the way up to 60A. And then you're going to print that out a few more times. So if you're using a generic folder that doesn't have any packaging, I usually print it out 3 times. So one label will go on the actual embossing folder, and then you want to actually run all of your embossing folders through your embossing machine, so you have a sample like I do here. And then so the next label will go onto the actual swatch or the embossed paper. And after you put your label on the paper, stick this into your album. And then you're going to see where that number falls. And when you label your album, you just kind of want to cover that portion up so it doesn't look confusing. Because if you label your album first and then stick the paper in, it's going to look something like this. So if you want a cleaner look to it, put the cardstock in and then put the label on your album. And so if you have something that has like a stamp to it, I also give the embossing folder a number and I give the stamp set a number, and I will just stamp all the stamps onto another cardstock, and then that will be in my album. Same goes for the cutting dies. I'll also add that in as well. And then if you have like a multi-pack that has like 3 different stencils in there and it actually has its original packaging, so I printed out another set of labels to use specifically for the packaging. And this is how I like to organize the 3D and Slimline folders, actually all the embossing folders. So I will label again the embossing folders, I'll label all of the swatches, and then on here I will actually label the packaging as well. So it sounds all a little bit confusing, but when you actually organize all of your 3D and Slimline folders, the process will be somewhat like this when you're crafting. So say, for example, I want to work on a project. I have my little composition notebook, and I don't want to have to go through all of my, embossing folders. So I just take this little stack right here. I have in my mind, I know what brand that is. It's kind of like something that I just purchased an off-brand. So I'm going to start with A, and then I find it and I'm like, oh, I like this one right here. And then I flip through the book a little more and I'm like, oh, okay, this one looks pretty nice. I can take these out and I can bring it towards my project and see if this is something I want to go with. And if it is, I can go ahead and print out the one, not print out, but rather emboss the one that I want in the right color and cardstock style. I can go on with my project, complete it, and when I'm done with that, I can just return everything. And there is a place to return everything. Because we labeled the album, I know where all of my little swatches go back into the catalog. And then for the actual drawer system, the actual folder, I like to put them back in chronological order. So if I have 6, I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll put that in there. And the same goes for looking for something. Like if I have something that's like in the 30s, I know it's not going to be at the top of the stack because I stacked it in chronological order. So that is another way that you can find all of your embossing folders quickly. So as I was putting this entire video together, I was thinking about there is actually a much faster way to also kind of like access all of your embossing folders and get it specific to whether you're making a birthday card, like a wedding card, a thank you card, or even like, what we were talking about earlier with shapes like hearts, squares, or with floral and leaves. And that's actually creating like a spreadsheet or a database. I really like that idea too, because you can search for like keywords and then it'll tell you specifically, you have heart embossing folders and like B1, G3, bingo, you know exactly where to find it. And this is the final reveal. I basically just put this in my craft closet and I stacked it high. And then I put all the little swatches on there, the catalog swatch book on there. So I am able to find all of my embossing folders now. And if you are still on this craft room hype, don't forget to click on this button right here. And here's a playlist of all of my other craft room organization.